Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly commodities analysis. This is where we have no bias analysis of both directions, bull and bear side. We'll be looking at price actions to give us the most likely scenario where likely price potentially may head to for later this week. And if you guys are looking for the stock market update video, where I did the QQ S&P 500 as well as the Mag 7s and all the economic datas and dark pools, check out the video from yesterday and let's get started on natural gas. All right, so let's start with the bull side first. So pretty much it was a nice move for the bulls, right? It was after this falling wedge bull break, we got 17%, and we got a little bit of a follow through, but we didn't end up breaking some of the key resistance. So we can break this 3.12, which was resistance from last week, right? Triple top here, and then we broke above it, but never closed above it, right? These upper wick just means that price was above here at some point, but we didn't actually close above that resistance. So it looked like bears played defense again, and then after that, that's right, we rolled over. Monday, Tuesday, bears play defense, and then they play offense here. So now the question is, can bulls continue in this move? So we'll take the measurements of this move. What I didn't like is this retracement is already over 50%. When it's over 50% of the initial move, right, bottom of the move to top of the move, this is 100% of the move. And this pullback already roughly 60% of this move. So when it's over 50%, it means that gives bears already enough space that on the next bounce, they can potentially form a lower high and lower low and confirm the downtrend again. That being said, bulls still have a little bit of space that they may work with, and potentially they can confirm trend back to their favor if they can do that. I talked about this as well, saying that this is just a big monthly bear flag. Weekly bear flag. So we measure from top of the move to the bottom move, and we did poke above it, but I'll still consider this a bear flag because due to the size of the move. So this big move down, and this is the bounce. And pretty much bear flag is just a weak bounce, essentially. And if we continue to chop around here, that may potentially be a weekly bear flag. So be cautious on that. It can go sideways for a little bit as well around these lows and just flag. So if you're a bull, you want to see pretty much where the low of this week be the lows. And then for it to come back, break above this 3.12 level where we couldn't close above it for the last 2 weeks. If we can do that, then we'll negate the weekly bear flag, and then we can zoom out to the monthly charts and potentially say this is a bigger monthly bounce. But for now, bears are definitely still in control, because if you zoom out to the monthly, we haven't even broken above the prior month candle this entire way down, right? So this is still one initial move, so it means it could still keep going. So what the bulls need to really do, right, just break above the prior month so we can have some kind of monthly balance get going at the moment, but which is at 3.22, which is pretty much where we topped out last Friday. Pretty close, 3.19. So essentially monthly balance is not on the way yet. So what bulls really need to do is negate this weekly bear flag as their first step for a bigger move. But at the moment, we'll see how they do this week. All right, so for the bears, you guys have the monthly turn in your favor, weekly in your favor. So on this next bounce, if we see a weak bounce, and then you can see kind of like a resistance here, and we don't make a new high, and then roll over like that, then that's exactly what you guys want to see. Doesn't mean we're going to break this low, but it will potentially confirm that, let's say it continues to flag, right, on that weekly bear flag. It may be something like this, right? Break down, but we don't hit new lows, and then we bounce, and then kind of just flag. So that may be the scenario, but obviously best case for you guys is just break down, confirm downtrend, and then continuation to break this new low, right? If we crack this low, there is no other lows, right? If we break that low, pretty much going to break this low, this long-term low here. But for now, we're just sitting right above it. So if we break this low through 2.6, and we're coming to this maroon line here, which is a longer term picture. Support, 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 support. Right, it's gonna act as resistance. All these is resistance, and then it's gonna act as support when we do test it. Yeah, so let's see if bears will continue that weekly bear flag. So we also got to know that the characteristic of natural gas is usually very trending name, and usually trends on the bear side. So I gotta keep that in mind when you do play these names. So technically speaking, right, this is not in the bigger picture bounce. This is not even that strong of a bounce, right? We had bounces here as well, right? Look at this, 21% bounces, another 18% bounces, and then we make new lows. Right, so it swings both way quite a bit, but usually still trends on the bear side. 14% bounces. So if this makes new low, I wouldn't be surprised. But this is pretty much bulls' first step up, potentially being able to shift the trend back to their favor in a longer term picture. So let's see if they can do that this next week or two coming weeks. Otherwise, it'll just be another one of these, big bounces and give everything back. So be cautious here if you're a bull. Definitely turn your stop losses and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's take a look at the rest. Oil and gold and silver. And if you guys want to learn more about technical analysis, check out the Patreon link. If you guys want to become a more consistent trader, where you know your targets and entries and stop losses and consistently make double-digit gains, check out the Patreon link for one-on-ones, or just book that 15-minute free call. Also, if you guys like these videos, make sure to subscribe for weekly videos, and all likes, sharing are always appreciated. All right, oil, absolutely nothing again. I talked about this one every week for the last couple of weeks, saying I don't like oil. I wouldn't touch it at all. It's just been chip chopping, right, sideways in a tiny range. The smaller the range, the harder it is to play. Although I do like tiny ranges when they do break out, right, then you can start playing that move. But you zoom in, right, it's like these tiny moves up and down and then back and forth. That being said, it's starting to form a clear resistance and supports into a tiny range. So, right, these are lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And something like this. Right, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Let's see if this tiny range ends up breaking and gives us a solid move. You can play it either way to the next, pretty much to the next target. So if it breaks bull, let's see if it comes back all the way to 68. Because longer term picture, oil is a range trade, right? Top of the range, bottom of the range. If it breaks below this range, then it'll become in this range. So if it breaks bear here, let's see if it needs to break the $61 zone to come into this structure to see if it comes back to 59. If it breaks bull above these pivots, then we'll be looking closer to 67 and 68 zone here. All right, let's take a look at US dollar. So we have a rate cut next week. Check out the stock market video for that. That is on Wednesday, and it's currently probability is 94 or 93%. So we're definitely getting a 25 basis point cut, which will also affect the dollar. So be cautious on that. And whatever Jerome Powell says on Wednesday, it's also going to affect the dollar because of his policies. So it's probably going to go sideways until Wednesday, and we'll have to see what the policies. Any kind of he's going to be dovish or more hawkish, then yeah. That being said, we are in a tight range. Yeah, no directions here, no trends currently. But bigger picture, it's a win for the Bears, right? If you make this kind of a huge move, from top to bottom, and you're just consolidating literally right at the lows, is a win for the bears. Um, yeah, rate cuts are weakens the dollar, so that's usually the case. And so if we continue to get more rate cuts, maybe we'll break this low. All right, this will be just a big monthly bear flag. Yeah. So right, top of the bottom move, we barely bounced 24% this bounce. So if we continue to consolidate down here and flag down here, and then rate cut starts to increase, maybe we'll get a bear flag follow through and come back down all the way to 94. So be cautious on that. If you're a bull, if you're a bear, you're sitting pretty darn good, and you got it anywhere up here. All right, let's look at gold and silver, which is beautiful breakout last week and still getting follow through. So we've been looking at this ascending triangle together for many months, and it finally broke out and got a solid follow through. Let's see. Yeah, 5%. So slowing down a little bit, right? We're just consolidating here, taking a little bit of breather, which is no red flags, right? If you have a 11% move on gold, which is a huge move for gold, right? Taking a little bit of breather sideways here, come back a little bit, is nothing too surprising. That being said, bulls are in absolute full control, right? Bigger picture monthly, weekly charts are in an uptrend, and we just got a breakout as well. Yeah. So the bears can't even break below this last pivot right here, this 3573, this tiny puny pivot here, which made the higher low and higher high, then bears aren't really going anywhere, essentially. So first step for bears, crack that low, and then back test here, get a weak bounce, and then break below this breakout point. And that would be like the first kind of shift. That will maybe a fake out, right? But no, zero signs of that yet. For bulls, this does come back, and then you want to see back test bounce, and then potentially maybe just consolidate a little bit here, and then make the next move up. Doesn't even have to back test here. It could just come back here a little bit, and then go sideways, and then bull flag. Next thing you know, we are higher again. But it is looking like it wants to take a little bit of a breather, right? Just potentially a little bit of sideways. Maybe one more leg up, and then take a little bit of breather before gearing up for our next move. We'll see next week to see how it consolidates. If it's a healthy consolidation, then it's probably looking for a next move up. But if it's what I talked about on the bear side, then we'll look into that as well. All right, so silver looking good as well. Let's see. Okay, so it's getting a little bit of rotation, right? You can see on the way up, silver make these big moves, and it consolidated a little bit while the gold was still going up. And now gold is consolidating. Silver made another 2 legs up. So that's a good sign, meaning that there is relative strength in here. Not just, right? You'd be like, okay, we're starting to slow down here a little bit while gold is still moving up. Silver's not really moving up anymore. But the next thing you know, gold is chilling. Next thing you know, silver makes 2 more moves. So this is like pretty much, gold is like Bitcoin, and silver is like a strong altcoin like Ethereum or something. And this is exactly what you want to see if you're on silver. You want to see when the main guy consolidates sideways. You want to see money rotate to the rest of the metals. Yeah, which is good. That's exactly what you want to see. That being said, silver is probably looking to take a little breather as well. So we did build a structure. So there's actual structure here. So if you want to see this structure act as support, or just don't crack below it, go sideways here. Kind of like what I did over here, right? Big move up, just sideways. kind of what silver likes to do. So, right, huge move up, sideways, big move up again, sideways, big move up, sideways a little bit, and then big move up. So as long as these structures keep holding and then we make new highs again, no red flags. So we'll have to see when gold takes a breather, right? Consolidates a little bit, chill out. You don't want to see silver makes like a ton of big drops when gold just chills out a little bit. You want to see it kind of just come down a little bit as well and just go sideways. You don't want to see something like boom, and then we just kind of go like this. So as a bull, obviously, as a bear, this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see relative weakness, and then consolidate sideways, and then next thing you know, this kind of rolls over a little bit, and you see something like that. That's what you want to see as a bear. As a bull, you want to see something like if it consolidates, you want to see it holds a lot better, and then chills out sideways here on top, and then when it breaks out again, you want to see like relative strength, pretty much like these moves, right? These outsized moves, where it's like 3% and gold makes like 1% relative strength moves. All right, that's it all for you guys. If you have to like, share, and subscribe, if you guys learn anything, feel free to support the channel. And I will see you guys next week for more updates. We're thinking about doing a Bitcoin update as well, cryptos on maybe midweek or with market updates. Let me know if you guys want to see that. If you would comment below, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of you guys this weekend. Take care.